What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle, and this is another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast. And today we have a special guest in the building. Listen, this is a Jamaican rapper right now that is killing all lanes right now. You know, we have in the building, we have Jakal in the building today. What's going on, big boss?
Salute, my bro. Salute, man. We out here, man. You know what I mean? I can't really add much more to what you said. Jamaican assassin killing all lanes, man. Urban legend representative. How you doing, man?
I'm excellent. Yourself?
I'm blessed, my bro. I'm blessed, man.
For sure.
Putting in the work as usual, you know?
Thank you. Thank you so very much for joining us on the program today because you have a very interesting story and I can't wait to share it with the viewers today.
I appreciate you for having me, man. I appreciate you for having me, my bro.
Definitely. All right, let's get into it because usually my first question is this, is because I know you were from Jamaica and then you went to the States and stuff like that. So when you were in Jamaica, what part of Jamaica were you born in or did you grow up in before you went to the States?
I was born in Montego Bay at Cornwall Regional Hospital. Shout out to the whole St. James, man, the entire parish of St. James, you know. I lived also in Hanover and St. Anne before migrating, you know.
Okay. And do you have any memories of Jamaica before leaving to go to the States?
I mean, childhood memories, you know what I mean? I don't have any bad memories because as a child, you know, I was happy, I'm fed, I'm clothed. I could do what I want. You know, I'm going to school, doing what regular kids do at that time, man. 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, just I have no complaints because you have nothing to compare it to. You know what I mean? And I don't regret it. I wouldn't change anything. I want my kids to grow with that and have that experience same way.
I definitely hear that. And what age did you migrate to the States?
Around 11, 12. You know,
11.
Around 11. Well, my mother left a few years before, probably around 2 years before. You know what I mean? She left prior to, all right, when I was born, up until I was, I won't lie. So I stay somewhere between 7 and 9. My parents broke up. You know, we was in the same house up until that point. When they separated, my mom's, she had a good government job. She was she used to work for a company that dealt with the schools. So she was a part of the educational system, you know? So my pops, streets, you know, he was on the street side of the fence, you know. So life was good from my vantage point. Everything, I was happy, all the toys I wanted I got. You know, when they separated though, she moved. The company that she worked with gave her a house. It was like a old, it used to be like a slave quarters because they had a lot of property, you know, so it was like a slave master's house. Real nice that they restored and it's good. And we was there and I was living with her. I used to go see my father whenever he wanted. It wasn't a problem. Like he could pull up, yo, I want, you know, and I'd be over there for a couple of days, whatever. One night, my mom's, the way the house was set up, it was like 3 houses in one. It was the main house, then it was like the guest house, and then it was the helpers' quarters where the helpers would live. You know what I mean? And because it was raining at the time and the driveway wasn't paved, so whenever it rained, it would be muddy and slippery. So she didn't drive to the main house, you know, where she lived, where we lived and was sleeping at. She parked at the guest house. That night, you know, somebody blew the car up and burnt down the house, assuming that that's the house that she was staying in. It just so happened that was one of the days when my pops was like, yo, come spend the night. So I wasn't there that night. I was actually with my dad, you know. So that kind of spooked my mom's, you know, rightfully so. And she left. So that's what made her left the country, you know. And it was when she left me initially, she left me with one of her secretaries, you know. And one day I was in school and the teacher was like, yo, your father's outside. I was like, all right. I went out there, and we kicked it. And I don't know if we left at that, like, then and there in that moment,
Mhm.
or after school, if he waited and came back after school was finished. But I know I went to his house after that. And then my mom's flew in a few weeks later, came and got me, and brought me to one of my sisters. She was living in St. Anne. That's how I ended up in St. Anne.
Got you.
My oldest sister, yeah, her oldest daughter at the time. Well, not at the time, but her oldest daughter, and so I ended up there. And a couple months later, same thing, he popped up. I ended up going to stay with him. She flew in again. But this time when she flew out, I flew out with her. So that's how that happened.
That's how you got to the States. All right. And when you got to the state, what part of the States did you get to at first?
Oh, we in New York. In Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Yeah.
Right in the belly of the beast right away.
Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, I was going there every summer for a few years. So it's like I knew a lot of people. By the time I got there, I had my my little bit of friends there and stuff. So it wasn't that big of a exchange. It was just like, oh, okay, now I get to hang out with my New York friends, the ones who I be chilling with in the summertime. So that's what it felt like for me at that age. You just adapt real quick. You don't really pay attention to much.
Okay, so it wasn't really a big culture shock going from Jamaica, especially in the country, to New York.
Nah, not for me, because it wasn't my first time there. When I actually went to live, it wasn't my first time there, so it wasn't a real big deal at all.
All right, so then now you're in the States, fresh in the States and all this. What type of music were you listening to, or were you even into music at that time there?
When I got to New York initially, man, I was fully still into Jamaican music because that's all I knew. You know what I mean? And funny story, I walked to from my house because we was living in Crown Heights on Nostrand at the corner of Bergen, and there was a CD shop or a record shop on Fulton, and I went there. And I bought the very first CD that I ever purchased was Buju till Shiloh. And till this day, I actually know that whole CD from beginning to end, almost word for word. So
Crazy.
I was yeah, bro. The first rap music I ever remember hearing was Snoop. But I was in Jamaica, Snoop Dogg. And then when I got to New York, because I had some family that was in Canada, and when they pulled up for the summer, they was playing Snoop. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, okay. But I didn't know enough to really even. That's my first memory and recollection of hearing rap music. And then from there, when I got to New York now, I'm in Brooklyn. In that era, late 90s, it's Wu-Tang, Old Dirty Bastard, you know what I mean? So Old Dirty Bastard, that was like the first rap tape cassette that I bought, I bought that, Old Dirty Bastard. And then on MTV, I seen the LOX, Money, Power, Respect. And I thought at the time, LOX was a short for dreadlocks. And that's what made me listen to that whole song, because I was waiting for the Rastas to forward it. And then and by the end of it, I actually liked the song, you know what I mean? So those are my earliest memories with rap, hip hop.
Okay, all right, cool. So then that's hip hop there. You have the reggae influence, you have the hip hop influence. So then now when you got there, what what school were you going to? Was it high school, middle school? Where were you in school at this point here?
I was in junior high. I was in junior high. So that was 390 Maggie Walker. IS 390 Maggie Walker in Brooklyn. Yeah, that's what school I went to. Junior high school.
Okay. In junior high school, you got the influence of hip hop, you got the influence of dance hall. You're in junior high school now. What type of kid were you in high school this time here? And when did you start to really get interested in music as an artist yourself?
All right. So we fast forward to high school. I didn't graduate from that junior high school. I graduated from a junior high school in Manhattan because I got in trouble in that school because without knowing it, where I live was a different turf from where I went to school at. You know what I mean? So when we was going to school in the mornings, we used to have to walk together because the older niggas used to be trying to take our sneakers. You know what I mean? When we was walking through the park, because you had to walk through Prospect Park. So like the niggas that was in high school, they was they was trying to yap us, so we had to walk together. So that kind of made us like a little crew, if you wanna, that was like my first little gang or crew or whatever, because it was really because they was trying to take our sneakers in the mornings and when we was going and coming from school. At the time in that school, they never used to let us outside. Like once you went to school, they locked the gates and we was locked in until school was out. You know what I'm saying? Because they never wanted niggas from the neighborhood coming into school robbing the students, because that was happening as well. Like, they used to cut holes in the fence, come take niggas' hats, Nike hats, your Nautica, DKNY, whatever was lit, you know what I'm saying? So you had to really, so that gave me my first experience or made me like, okay, this is how you got to carry it, So we saw, we running around with razors in our mouths and stuff like that. So I got kicked out of that school and my mom's put me in a school in Manhattan because she was like, oh, you with the wrong set of friends already. She was working in Manhattan at the time. So I used to go to school with her when she was going to work so she could kind of monitor me better. You know what I mean? So I ended up actually going to Maggie Walker. Maggie Walker. No, excuse me. Wagner Junior High School in Manhattan. I graduated from there. And that was actually a good experience for me because I got to interact with a lot of white people because it's in Manhattan. So like a lot of different races, Spanish, people from Harlem, all over Manhattan. Because usually at that time, the schools, junior high school, they was called zone schools. So you had to go to a school in your zone. So I'm living in Brooklyn. I'm way out of my zone. So I'm meeting people in Manhattan. They dress different. They behavior. It's a different. Every borough got a different mentality or a different way of life to an extent, even though it's still New York. So so I graduated from there. Fast forward to high school. I'm in high school now. I went to the first high school I went to was Aviation High School. I went to school to fix planes. That's in Queens. So now I'm in Queens, meeting Queens niggas, you know what I'm saying? That school is on 33rd Street, which is right up the road from Queensbridge. So I'm tapping in now with some Queensbridge, some homies from the bridge. You know what I mean? So it's just I'm a good student. I'm not a great student, at that time. I'm a good student. I excelled in the physical classes where we was working on planes and stuff. They called them shop class, so used to go to shop class and I always did good in all those classes, to the point where I think 10th grade, they offered me and a bunch of other students from, I guess, that grade or whatever. I don't know how they selected, but they picked some kids that they were given the opportunity to work at the airport on actual planes and fix them and get that real life experience, even though they're planes at the school, But when they told me, yo, go home, get your parent consent, and bring your social security number, because they was gonna be paying us as well, because we was working while, and I went home. I was like, I told my mom, she was happy, and when I told her, like, yeah, they was like, I was like, yo, what's my social security number? And she was like, what you want that for? I was like, yeah, they was telling me that I need that to, she was like, oh, well, yeah, you don't have that. And if they ask you for it again, just, tell them you'll bring it. And then that made me start, I was like, oh, this is serious. So, me as a kid, I started doing my own little research. I'm asking people, they're like, yo, if you don't got that, trouble once you in police custody and all that, So that kind of made me say, yo, man, fuck school, man, because I ain't even gonna be able to graduate, really and truly,
Okay.
but hindsight is 2020, man. So, at the time, had I known, I could have just went to the guidance counselor. They got programs in place to help kids, because I was actually, the system was designed to help me at that point, because I wasn't in any serious legal trouble or nothing. So they would have jumped at the chance to help me, but fear and not knowing, and then my mom's not knowing, so that just gave me the green light to streets. I'm outside now. Fuck school. We in the streets, Full
Okay,
blown.
so I
If I was
guess
playing around before, I got serious at that point.
at that point there, all right. So I guess at that point, when you got to the States, they didn't get to file the paperwork for you, or that was something that got forgotten, or what was the situation why you weren't even really straight in the first place?
Now that I think about it, I think what happened is, she came legally and all that, but she was shell shocked from the attempt on her life that she just ran away from. So she went from high ranking whatever, like high society. There were times when I could turn the TV on as a kid and see my mom's on the TV in the morning talking about some educational stuff, or, because she was like high up in the educational system out here. And from that to a babysitter, just because she didn't want nobody to know her. She was afraid, she didn't know if who was trying to kill her could find her. So she basically just went under the radar. And because I'm under her umbrella, I'm a child at that time, I kind of went under the radar as well. So by the time I came of age and started wanting to be outside and assimilate into society as a young adult, I'm realizing, like, oh, I got some stuff that, if I go outside and just for some reason end up in police custody for jaywalking, let's say, it's the same penalty as if I would have got caught with a gun. That's how I rationalized it, so, that gave me the green light to, I'm outside,
Take on the
fully
road.
active. Yeah, I'm outside, active.
Oh. And at this time here, when you decided, okay, you know what? Forget high school, I'm really going into the streets. Did you get into any real trouble prior to that, or the trouble came after all of this?
Not any real trouble prior to that. The real trouble came after that, because now, I'm in the streets. So instead of stopping on the block on my way to school, going to school, going to the block after school and chilling until I leave and go home, I'm leaving the house, going to the block, probably pull a 24-hour shift or a 72-hour shift, just out there, and stuff come with that. You're making a little bit of money, people, you buying clothes, little jewelry. At the time you thinking it's phenomenal you doing the world, but you know you ain't really doing much in the grand scheme of things. But you know, I'm thinking I'm Nino Brown at the time, man. You know, so I'm behaving like that, 'cause, you know what I mean. So and everything that comes with that.
And when did the music enter your life at this time here now?
Even in high school, throughout high school, I used to freestyle. You know, you hear somebody's song, you change up their words, do your version of it. You know, but I never really fully paid attention to music until this second time I was locked up when I was doing 3 years. You know,
Okay.
And everybody who heard me was like, "Yo, you fire, dog. You nice." You know. Now I've been hearing that when I was in the streets, but it was all from people I know or people that was afraid of me, or you know. So I never really believed it. But in prison, anything what one thing that anybody accepts very quick when you're in prison or about the prison population is they're the hardest set of people to satisfy in any way, because there's nothing there to be happy about. There's no, you know, if you have to find something within you to be happy about. So if a prisoner say that's nice, it really is. It's exceptionally nice, you know. And in my experience, the second hardest audience to please after the prison audience is the Jamaican audience.
I
You know,
knew without
if
a
a
doubt
Jamaican
you were going to
say,
say that.
yeah, if a Jamaican say, yo, that is fire, believe it, because the hardest set of people to please. So I started believing it, you know, and then I met Shine. He was doing his time at the time in Clinton. I was in Clinton Max. I met Shine. There was another rapper there that he was signed to Rockefeller at the time. His name was H Moneybags. But
Okay.
he was with he was a crew called the Codees. It was a pair of them, the Codees. And he got caught. I don't remember. I think it was with a Mac 11 or something like that. But he was doing 10 years, 5 to 10. And I met him in the process, and he was the first one to say, "Yo, give me a phone, give me a address, give me your people's address. Here's my wife's address. No matter what happens, you have a contact to me, because you know you in prison." We could be chilling. 10 minutes from now, a riot kick off. We all end up in different prisons across the state. Some of us get kicked out of the state, you know. So we always, you write your love work. It's very important information. You write it in your Bible, because you always get to have your religious book with you, no matter what. That follows you, no matter where you go. You know what I mean? So wrote his info, his wife's info in my, and that don't happen, bro. Nobody in prison ain't gonna give you their wife address or they, you know what I'm saying? So that showed me, like, cause he was like, "Yo, dog, I still talk to Bleak, Memphis Bleak,
Okay.
over the phone, because that's his peoples. He was signed to them, you know." And he like, "Yo, I'm gonna give you the link to them, man. Trust me, just get out. Don't catch no more charges in here. Don't, you know." When I went out, I was taking music serious. I got out in 2006 after doing 3 years and a couple months. A little a shooting incident, because the first time you asked me, prior to me saying, "Yo, fuck school," it wasn't no real legal issues. After that, it just started escalating. A cutting charge there, a stabbing charge there, a possession charge here, a shooting charge there. You know, it just going up, going up, going up, you know? So I came home in '06, and you know, I want to say I came of age in Yonkers, because moved from Brooklyn and was living in Yonkers, and that's where I really, like went, got all in, went all in Yonkers. You know what I mean? So when I got locked up on the shooting incident, when I came home, they banned me from Yonkers, so I had to live in the Bronx. I had to live in the Bronx. So I used to sneak into Yonkers to go to the D Block studio. That's the very first place I recorded music, was the D Block studio. Shout out to Poobs. He was the first engineer to ever record me. I didn't know how to count bars. I was getting mad the whole session because he like, yo, spit 16, and I'm spitting 32s because at the time I didn't know how to count. I thought but every 2 bars was, you know what I'm saying? So I'm getting mad in there, and then, I got the jail temperature. I didn't last long in the streets in 06. I got locked up again a few months later, for the charge that got me deported.
Okay, so this is now the 3rd time that you actually got locked up now on a serious charge.
To do real time, yeah, because I did a year, then I did 3 years, and then I got locked up in 06. I went on a run in New York because I was on parole when I came home. So I went on a run. I'm out in Massachusetts now, and I got jammed up for trafficking cocaine.
Okay, so then remember, you got into trouble twice before. How come there was never really the deportation anything never came in at that time there? Because remember, you still don't have a social at this time.
Yeah. See, the New York prison system is so crowded that it's a lot of small details that get overlooked. And then every time they approach me with it, remember I told you I went to high school in Queens. I went to aviation high school. So every time they're like, yo, it's saying Jamaica, I'm like, I don't listen. I went to high school in Queens. I was born in Jamaica Hospital in Queens. I don't know what's going on. You guys keep bringing me here, keep asking me about this. Come on, bro. Do I look like a Jamaican? Do I sound like a Jamaican? Like, we're wasting each other's time. And I slid through like that. I slid through because when they type in the system, I did go to high school and it's transcript. Oh, yeah, Queens. Yes. Yeah. Some computer error away that said Jamaica the Island instead of Jamaica Hospital. And what's your social security number? Bro, I'm in prison. I've been committing crimes my whole life. I've never had a use for that. I could tell you my jail ID number because I use it every day. They're like, oh, my God, another scum. Get out of here. That's how they was, so I slid through. But Massachusetts is a commonwealth, and a lot of people don't really understand what that term means. Like, in America, you have states, you have commonwealths. You have probably only 4 commonwealths in the entire America, United States. You got Virginia is one of them. Massachusetts is one of them. I know one of the Carolinas is one of them. And Pennsylvania is one of them, and you have one District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. Now, every state, there are laws that no matter what state you're in, they're constant once you're in a state. Commonwealth is different. They could change the laws and they make the laws up as they go. They could do what they want. And it's like the District of Columbia, Washington, that's the only place, a lot of people don't know, but that's the only place in America that if there is like anarchy or something like that, none of the laws apply there because all the laws are written to be executed in a state or a commonwealth. That's neither. It's a district. And it's no coincidence why that's where the White House is and that's where Fort Knox is at, But I digress. Yeah. Yeah. But Massachusetts, they did because they're a commonwealth, they do a different type of research and they're more vigilant and they take things more personal because they was like, oh, you're not from here. You're here in our Commonwealth selling drugs. Yeah, so they made sure that they got everything that they needed to get me up out of there.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's how immigration pulled up on me while I was there serving I was probably about 3 years into my time out there when immigration pulled up on me. It was like, all right, you got this issue. At the end of this, we gonna come see you and figure it out. I was like, all right.
Mhm.
At the end of it, they came. They was like, Massachusetts didn't even want to let me go, bro. I had to have them parole me to New York custody because I was on the
Mhm.
run from New York. So I had to. I wasn't going to the streets anyway. So I had to use that because if it was up to Massachusetts, they would still have me out there right now. So I got to New York. They sent me update because I was on parole. I violated parole even though I just did 6 years now out in Massachusetts. New York still wanted some time, so they sent
Mhm.
me upstate again. And while I was upstate, immigration came again, and they like, "Yo, do you want to fight it? You've been here your whole life." Nah, I signed out.
Okay.
They sent me to immigration. Yeah, so it's they bro they when they mad at you, man, they become very spiteful.
Mhm. And that's really what it is. So, okay, so you did your time, and then now you got paroled to New York, and then I guess you got deported from New York.
No, so in Massachusetts paroled me to New York. I went upstate again.
Mhm.
When they New York paroled me to immigration. Now, when immigration came and got me, they immediately took me from New York and brought me to
Mhm.
New Jersey. So I was in New Jersey and
Mhm.
I was waiting on a plane because I didn't fight. I didn't fight. You know what I mean? I didn't want to go through that process. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I guess they didn't like that because everybody fights. So they're like, now, yeah, oh, you don't want to fight? So I missed the plane. They didn't put me on the plane. So they sent me from New Jersey. I stood maybe 2 months in New Jersey until
Mhm.
they shipped me to Miami. Um, they shipped me from Miami. I stood in Miami for like a week. I
Mhm.
missed the plane there because they're sending me saying like, "Yo, all right, there's a plane leaving to Jamaica. We're gonna send you to meet that plane
Mhm.
from New Jersey to Miami because the plane is leaving from Miami." So they extradite me from and this is like a 3-day journey. There's none of this happens in a day or a few hours. They bring you from one jail, you spend a couple hours there, a different
Mhm.
bus, new handcuffs, new shackles, bring you to a plane, take off those handcuffs, new shackles from that plane. So it's like this is like it ain't like you getting on a flight and you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I get to Miami. Um, I missed the plane that was going to Jamaica. So they fly me from Miami to Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? And left me in Louisiana for maybe about 3 weeks before I got on a plane and actually made it to Jamaica.
Wow. Okay. And what year did you come to Jamaica? And what was it like the first night or even the first week touching back in Jamaica now? After not being in Jamaica for so many years.
I returned to Jamaica July 26, 2012. I could never
Mhm.
forget that because I call that my rebirth day. I celebrate twice birthdays every year, my birthday and that day.
Mhm.
That first day, it was just me basically recording everything because everything was new to me.
Mhm.
It was new to me. Um, when I landed and they took the handcuffs off to the U.S. Marshals so they could fly to America, and I wasn't just free. They released me and the army, the Jamaican army custody, and they brought me to their headquarters and a bunch of other us as well because
Mhm.
I came to Jamaica on Con Air. I didn't come on a regular plane. So everybody else that came they was also on Con Air as well. So it's the people who they felt couldn't come on regular planes, you know. So they brought us to the camp. So they call it camp, and you know they interview, they taking pictures, they want to know where you going, what you're gonna do when you're here. I don't have a phone number for anybody that I'm gonna call. I don't have an address for where I'm gonna go. So they thinking like you're gonna be one of them that you're gonna be a problem for us, you know. So I actually, man, I ended up sneaking out of there. I had to sneak out of there while they went on their lunch break because really they're supposed to get an address and phone number from you, you know, but I didn't have that, you know, and they was giving me a hassle, a hard time about that, man. So, you know, they went on their lunch break and I walked out there, looked, seen, oh, okay, yeah, it's the main road out there. All right. I just grabbed my bag. I had a garbage bag, a clear garbage bag with a bunch of music and books and like my jail mail, my letters and pictures and all that. I just took that and slid up out of there, man. When I got out front, you know, it was some prostitutes out front because they know every Thursday, you know, the deportees come back. So they be out there. They know, you know, niggas coming home. They got some money. They want some, you know, they want some action. You know what I mean? So I seen one of the prostitutes out there, man. I paid her $20 to I paid her $20 for a phone call. She called a cab for me. And when the cab nigga came, I paid him $20 to bring me to Portmore. And I went to Portmore. Because I went to Portmore really and truly because I went to Portmore because when I was locked up, I used to get the Star. I used to get the newspaper, you know, and that was like my only way of knowing what's going on in Jamaica. And I that's the only place that I seen that had a mall, you know what I mean, that actually said mall. And in my experiences, every mall has a bulletin board with like lost dogs, lost and found, apartments for rent, used lawnmower, blah, blah, blah. I needed a place to rent that night to stay because, you know, I have family, I have relatives, but we're not close. I didn't feel comfortable. I won't even say we're not close. Since I left, there was no contact because I left as a kid. You know what I'm saying? So the contact was minimal. Some of them, I don't remember what they look like. I don't know if they remember what I look like. To me, they're strangers, bro. I got friends that I consider more family than them. It's no disrespect to them. It's just that I don't know them, you know? So I didn't really consider that an option to me, linking up with them or staying with one of them. I'm well aware that I could have, you know, but it just wasn't an option that I wanted to explore at the time, you know. And so went to the bulletin board, you know, called first thing I did was I went to the phone store, bought a phone. I bought a little banger, you know, and then bulletin board, called, went and seen two places. One person had two apartments for rent. He brought me to one place, definitely slum, Garrison. I wasn't with it. I'm like, nah, this ain't for me. Not right now. I'm trying to relax a little bit, get this together. This right here look like it's active right now. You know what I mean? The next place was real nice. It was a gated community. I think it was a part of his plan though, like to show like, yo, this over there. And then you come over here, look at this. Cause I found out months later that he was charging me twice the amount that I really was supposed to be paying. You know,
Okay.
so I didn't know no better. You know, I just got here. I didn't have nobody to guide me, or you know. So I'm learning as I go. So yeah, man, I ended up in Portmore, rented a place that night, no furniture, no nothing, slept on the floor. You know, I had $800 with me, man. I spent $440 on the apartment that, you know, and so that cut me down, you know, to 380, and I bought the phone, you know, for 360, and I bought the phone. So the bread is dwindling already, like rapidly.
In
It's only been
basically
a couple
1 to
hours.
2 days. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's only been a couple hours, you know, so I slept on the phone that night. Slept on the floor that night, you know, used my sneakers and a little jacket, little windbreaker that I wore. I had on a Nike sweatsuit when I came, so I used a little windbreaker and my sneakers as a pillow. And then the next morning now, I went to the passport office in Kingston and got my passport so I could have an ID to collect money from Western Union. So that's how I started my life here, bro. You know?
Okay. I see that. And then this is 2012 where right now, I guess this is Cartel and Movado. They're hot. This is not really no real trap music, no hip hop, really in the dance hall scene in
Yeah. This
Jamaica.
is
Yeah.
authentic
Yeah.
dancehall. Cartel just got locked up, so he's running the, you know, Movado running the place. Tommy Lee was on fire. You know, he was on fire. Yeah, that was that dancehall. So it wasn't no space for rap. They was telling me no, not gonna happen. I went to a lot of studios. They had me waiting outside for hours. You know what I mean? Like, yo, all right, yo, yeah, we done for the day. Forward tomorrow. Yeah.
One of those
You know,
things. So remember, you're deported. You don't really know anybody. You rap. You don't even
right.
speak the whole dialect like how they speak there anymore. This is a
Yeah, I'm
whole
learning
new
it
world
through
to you.
music. I'm learning it through music, like deciphering music, like, oh, that's what that means. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning it as I go through music and through women. You know what I mean? And I met a nigga, his name was Marlon. He was the first one to bring me to a studio out here, you know what I mean? Yeah, Marlon Edwards in Portmore.
There.
Yeah.
And then he brought you to the studio first. So then how did that transfer from there to get into Y Rush?
All right. Bring me to the studio, record music. Nothing never happened with it. People just playing it from the phone. It's not mixed right because nobody don't really know out here how to mix a rapper. There's a big difference in the way you mix dancehall music and reggae to the way you mix rap music. Dancehall music is predominantly played outside because we have dances. So the music is mixed to project, to travel. So that's why you could be 10 blocks over out here and hear the music at a dance that's going on over there clear because the music is mixed to project because it's played outside. Rap is the total opposite. America, Canada, Europe, the music is played indoors in clubs. So it's mixed with more bass so you could feel it. The voice don't need to project because we're not that far from the speaker. We're going to hear everything clearly, you know? So a lot of the thing with my music is, one, I was approaching the DJs wrong. I was approaching them very aggressive. The second thing, the music mix quality was terrible, right? And the third thing, from the outside looking in, you think you know how something works or something runs, and you're doing your own thing and you're applying certain tactics or strategy, and that's really not how it works when you get in there. So from 2012 to about, I want to say 2017, really and truly, I'm getting a few radio spins, not daytime radio neither, nighttime radio and internet radio. Few people know me, the rapper. Oh, that nigga's crazy. He talking about he rapping. I'm literally just rapping to anybody who would listen. Recording on any beat that I would get. And telling anybody who would air like, yo, this is what I'm doing, this is my plans, blah, 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 blah. All right. Some of the people who gave me an ear and saw, I don't know if they believed it could work, but they definitely believed in the talent. Was Just Bus, Drew. They have a program called Just Bus Acoustics, and they basically interview reggae artists, not even reggae artists, and have them perform with live instruments. And in maybe 2014, could be even 13, bro. They gave me an episode on that. They interviewed me. I was the only artist that didn't have a live band. I had a DJ playing the rhythms off of the computer on a thumb drive. I had no original music, like none of the beats, none of the songs that I sang on original beats. I was just taking people rhythms and putting songs on it. They still gave me a full episode, had it on TV, all that, right? So forward now to about 2017, Drew calls me and he's like, yo, people always say, yo, you look like Vybz Kartel, you look like Vybz Kartel. I don't see the similarity, but I get it. It's just because we're tall and we're skinny. That's it. You know what I mean? If I'm in New York, they say you look like Jay-Z, you look like Fabulous. Now they say I look like Skillibeng. It's just once you're tall and skinny, they say I look like Travis Scott. It's the same, you know what I mean? So I get it. Tall, skinny, brown skin, dark skin. Okay, that's what you look like. It's cool. They're always comparing me to somebody great, so that's cool. I'm cool with it. So they're like, yo, I need a favor. We're shooting a video for Y Rush. He has a song with Vybz Kartel. We need you to play Vybz Kartel, please. I know you don't like the comparison, but just do me that favor. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right. At this time, I don't know Rush. You know, we never met, nothing. I'm like, all right, cool. On the day of the shoot, I'm there. I met Rush. The song's fire with him and Kartel. Obviously, I know who Vybz Kartel is. We're here. Cool. I'm playing Vybz Kartel in the video. Obviously, I find out who now he's on Zip, Top Radio, this job. He owns his own sound. I'm finding out who he is now. So I'm like, all right, cool. Listen. Yo, bro, I know you're working. You're on a video shoot. You're a DJ. Every artist is trying to give you music right now. I want to give you a couple songs. I'd like to hear. I like, some feedback. I want to give you some music. And I saw him in a Mercedes. He was driving a Mercedes that day, and I had a song called Mercedes because I had a Mercedes. I had an old school one. So I got a love for Mercedes. I did a song called Mercedes. I was like, yo, I got a song, man, that I'd like for you to listen to in your car. Because anybody that loves Benz is going to automatically love that song because it's about Mercedes and it's fire. He's like, all right, after the shoot, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, we got the shoot out. He's like, yo, listen, send me some music. I'm going to give you my email. Email me a couple songs. Don't send me a bunch of stuff because I'm busy. Just send me like your best, what you think, I'm like, all right, I think I sent him 3 songs. And he asked me, like, yo, what's your, if you're as nice as you say you are, how come I never heard about you? Basically is what he asked me. What's your problem? Why you're not at the forefront? And I'm like, yo, my biggest problem, I got 2 problems in dancehall, in Jamaican music. One, nobody don't know how to mix me. So the music, when you play it, like, it sounds trash, you know what I'm saying? Because the mix quality is terrible. And second, a lot of people are afraid to deal with me. You know what I'm saying? He like, what you mean? I'm like, I don't know, dog. They're afraid of me. I don't know why. You ask them when you see them. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, all right, send the music. I think he thought I was playing. I think he thought I was playing. Yeah, so he's like, all right, send the music. So I emailed them 3 songs. I know I sent him Mercedes. I know I sent him All the Way Up. I did a remix for All the Way Up, the French Montana, Fat Joe, and Remy Martin. I did a remix for that. 3D, DJ 3D from Renaissance Sound had remade that rhythm for me. Yeah, I think 3D remade the rhythm. It's either no 3D remade the rhythm for me. I did the song on there, and it was one of them that I sent to Rush.
Okay.
He called me, or he messaged me. I think might have been the next night or the same night. Like, yo, I sent something to your email. I sent it to your email. I mixed one of the songs and sent it to your email, and I made some changes to it. Let me know how you feel about it. I never forget it. He was like, "Yeah, I made some changes to it. Let me know what you feel." I added some things to it. Like, let me know, let me know what you feel. If not, I could take it out if you don't like it. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, boom. Shoot over to my email, listen to it. Oh shit! Immediately, it sound different. The mix, it just crazy clarity. It sounds how it's supposed to sound, And I'm listening to it, listening to it, and at the end of my verse, he did a verse. I was like, oh shit. Listen to the
Okay.
verse. Now, unbeknownst to me, at the time, that was the second time he ever. The only other thing he ever did musically was the shit with him and Cartel. So I'm like, oh shit. A few things going through my mind. Boom, I got a verse from Rush. Boom. Okay. It kind of confirmed what I already know, but because everybody is telling me the opposite, you know what I mean? I'm like, I probably was even questioning. I'm like, okay. I knew my shit was fire. Once niggas understand it, they gonna fuck with it. He did a verse on there, you know what I mean? And that's what started everything. It went from, him just mixing the music, being my brother, giving me advice in the business, to mentoring me, you know what I mean? And one day he hollered at me. Like, I don't know if he came to my house or he was like, yo, pull up over at my house. I went to his house and he was like, yo, man, I believe in what you're doing. I'm already giving you the energy. I support it. Let's put it on paper. Let's put it on paper. And then I signed the management deal with him, and then probably about a year later, we created Urban Legend. Well, we created the idea of Urban Legend, a record label. We was searching for a name, something that actually made sense for us, for me, because I'm the artist that's going to introduce it to the world. He's the person that, I won't say behind the scenes, but he's the person dealing with the behind the scenes work, you know? And he actually came up with the name, you know what I mean? He came up with the Urban Legend name, and it just completely umbrellaed the concept of what we're doing and who I am, and we took it from there, bro. And the first thing we did before we even went public with the record label, we did an EP and we named the EP Urban Legends.
Okay. So,
But nobody really knew. We just did that to familiarize people with the brand,
yeah.
what we was about to do.
So that was the first body of work that you and Rush decided to get into, was the
Yeah.
EP.
The Urban Legend EP. The Urban Legend EP that had 4 songs on there. Love to Love You featuring Version. Shout out to Version. Anywhere he's at across the planet. He did that for me. He sang the chorus for, I won't even say for me. He sang the chorus for Rush because he didn't know me.
Yeah.
We went and met him. Rush knew him because, Rush got 20 years of experience in the business, so he knows damn near the whole business. Anybody who came in the business for the past 20 years, he knows them. There's some kind of relationship there between them. And he hollered at Version. We went over to Friends for a Real Studio and met him the first time I met Version. And he was just a real cool, humble nigga, man, And remember, nobody knows me. The few people that do know me are my personal little fan base that I've been developing. I probably had 1,000 followers on Instagram, and Rush brings me to meet Version, and he's like, yo, this is my artist. He's a rapper. I could just imagine how that sounded to Version, thinking about it now. Yo, I got an artist, a rapper, and I want you to sing a chorus for him. What? No, he's a deportee. What? The fuck? What? But
it just keeps getting worse. It just keeps getting worse. Every time he
Like,
opens
all
his
right,
mouth.
I want you to do a song for me. I want you to do a chorus for me. Right? I'm not paying you. Right? It's for a rapper. Right? And he's deported. What? And nobody knows him. Ain't nobody fucking with him. Nothing.
Yeah, no, that's just a bad, the thought just sounds so crazy.
That's urban legend, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like we got a saying, Rush and I got a saying where we were like, yo, that's some urban legend shit. Like that's some real urban legend shit because he actually did it. You know what I mean? And he liked the song, he did it. He and I developed a relationship. We didn't become great friends, but that's my nigga. Like, if he called me right now, it's no, you know what I'm saying? I haven't seen him in probably two, maybe 3 years in person.
Okay.
But that's still my dog. I'll never forget what he done. So that's how Love to Love You song came about. That was the biggest song for me for years. Love to Love You, because that's talking about the girl who stood by my side for the 10 years that I was in prison for. That song is dedicated to her, you know what I'm saying? So it's a very relatable song. And even people who never been through that struggle, they're like, damn, like, not many people be that vulnerable about themselves musically to even give the woman that held them and stood by their side, even when I'm not, me and her, we're not together now, you know what I'm saying? But I still, whenever that she pops up in conversation, or even my prison journey pops up in an interview, she always is in there somewhere because she was there, man. Like, she probably missed out of 10 years, bro. All right, 1 year don't count because I was 19. No, I was 18. She was 17 because I was a year older than her. So she couldn't come to the prison by herself. Obviously, her moms ain't bringing her, pops ain't bringing her. You know what I mean? So that year don't count. So for 9 years, no matter where I was at in America, bro, she was there every Saturday when I'm in New York, no matter where I'm at in New York. And there's some places in New York that's 6-7 hours away. People won't realize that. Some prisons, I was in a prison in Malone that's literally, I could look at the Canadian border. If you're in Canada, I'm sure you heard of Malone, New York. That's probably the closest place you step into. It's Malone and then Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? Like, Malone is right next to Niagara Falls. Like, we see in the falls from the prison, you know? So that's far, bro. And she's there every Saturday. She gets on the bus, a prison bus, Friday evening, and get to the prison Saturday morning at like 5 o'clock, sit outside in the waiting area until 9, 10 o'clock when visiting hours start, to see me for a few hours and leave and do the same thing again. So, you know, me doing that song was just me saying thank you and letting her know that everything that she's mad about or she was mad about, I know why and I understand. You know what I mean? And I apologize for dragging her through all that, and I appreciate her for actually being there for me, you know, because that makes a difference for a nigga when he doing his time. When you know, like, yeah, bro, like, because yo, we could be in the day room right now or wherever in the yard right now, and you piss me off, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do my best to chop his head off. The weapon that I have isn't sharp enough to cut your head clean off, but it's gonna scar you real good. But the thing that'll prevent me from doing that is thinking, yo, Shakira gonna be here. She ain't gonna make the visit, and really and truly, her flipping out over the phone because she can't come, I'm more afraid of that than the actual new charge that I'm going to catch while I'm in there. I'm like, damn, man, I can't. Like, it's crazy when you think about it. You know what I mean? Because you in the yard and I'm around like murderers, people that's never coming home. You know what I mean? And they about to do something like, let's say somebody's mad at an officer or something, and he's like, yo, bro, yeah, I would stab that nigga like 40 times right now, man, but I don't want to hear my girl mouth, man. She gonna be bitching talking about how I get visits for some punk shit. You know, so people don't really know, like, these women on the outside of the fence, you know, they prevent a lot of damage on the inside. And you know, you see the difference in attitude and temperature in an inmate that gets visits from an inmate that don't get visits. You know what I mean? And I'm very conscious of that, man. And I you know, she helped me get out in the time that I got out, because even though I caught extra charges in there, even though, you know, they bounced me around the system, it would have been a lot worse if I didn't have to think like, damn, she's expecting me to call tonight. If I do something right now, I'm gonna miss the phone call tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that helps.
It's wild.
It helps keeps. Yeah, bro. Yeah. So, you know,
Okay,
that song
bringing
was
up
for her.
another. There's another female that I know you are connected to, which was DAngel. Today is DAngel's birthday, and I seen in your stories.
It's actually her birthday today, man. Shout out to her.
I seen that in your stories. You posted a message to her that she was actually one of the first people to really bring you around as an artist. Talk about that for a bit.
All right, yeah. Remember I was telling you that Rush was like, yo, so why you ain't reach, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yo, I don't got nobody to mix for me. And they kind of scared of me. You know what I mean? And he was like, so he comes to find out, like, oh yeah, this is that's really the case, you know? So he's kind of being a buffer for me. He's in the industry telling people like, nah, man, he's a cool, you know what I mean? Telling people, because they'll listen to him, you know? But I did the song with Version. We shot the video. Till this day, Version and I have never performed that song together in person. I performed it. I don't know if he performs it, but I perform it in my set when I work. You know what I mean? We've never performed it together. We shot the video. Cool. We've never went on a radio interview together. He's never posted the song on his social media. None of that. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not bashing him or anything. I'm just showing you something. You feel me? I did a song with Jah Vinci. I got a bunch of songs with Jah Vinci. You know? We performed together. He called me, yo, I got a show. I want you to run out, blah, blah, blah. He gave me maximum energy to the best of his ability. We've never done an interview together, you know? Angel, we did the song together. That was the last song that I recorded for my album, the Deported album. Now, think about it. She is who she is. She is who she is. You can't mention females in dancehall and don't mention her name, whether you like her or not. Cool. Imagine her. I try to put myself in the minds of other people. Imagine her getting a call from Rush. Yo, Angel, I got a song for my artist. Up at that point, people know me now. Now I'm the Deportee rapper, Rush's artist. The Deportee rapper. Got deported for selling drugs, attempt murder, That doesn't help the people who are already afraid of me in the industry. You know what I mean? It's just now I'm getting more media coverage, and this is actually solidifying everything that they've been hearing from people when they travel to America or wherever, right? So imagine her now getting a call. Yeah, what's going on, Rush? Yeah, my artist got a song for his album. Your artist is yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah, the rapper, the Deported, man, Jakal, man. Yeah. Yeah, he got a song for the album that we're naming Deported. The name of the album is Deported. And
Mhm.
we want to do a song with you, man. We gotta, and she's like, yeah. Well, if the song bad, no do it. Just like that.
Mhm.
She comes to the studio, maybe probably the next day, shortly after. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Me, I'm I'm trying to be reserved because I already know there's a stigma with people like, yo, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that, right? So I'm just there, quiet, rhythm playing, hearing my part. This is the idea I have for what I would like for you to do. And she's like, yo, relax, loosen up. I'm here to work. I'm not here to judge you. The song is fire. I'm going to give it my all. What? All right,
Mhm.
cool, man. Dope. Like totally caught me off guard.
Mhm.
Totally caught me off guard. All right, so we do the song. We have a hit song together. Call her for the video? Absolutely. When are you ready? Let me know. Just give me a couple days in advance. Let me get my schedule together. Blah, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah, blah. Comes to the video shoot. High energy, no diva shit, no, you know what I mean? Like, none of that. We
Mhm. Mhm.
working. Actually, the place where we shot the video, I just seen it like, ooh, this is nice. We just went in there like and started shooting there. No permission, nothing. Security pulling up on us. She's like, yo, yeah, no, we're almost done. They're realizing who she is. All right, listen. All right, listen. We just want to finish what we doing. If you let us finish what we doing, y'all can get as many pictures with me as you want.
Mhm.
Like real down to earth, All right, cool. We shoot the video. Promo time now. Promo the song.
Mhm.
Interview. Every interview she got, yo, I got an interview with On Stage tomorrow. I've
Mhm.
been to On Stage prior to that about 3 or 4 times. One time with Rush,
Mhm.
he had an interview. He mentioned me in the interview. They didn't film me. They edited out the part where he mentioned me. The second time I went was with Eka Mouse because we have a song together on the EP as well.
Mhm.
They filmed me, edited me out. The third time I was supposed to go with
Mhm.
Jah Vinci. I didn't go because I'm like, yo, they keep editing me out. She gets an on-stage interview. She's like, she calls me, yo, I got an on-stage interview. Um, like, let's say she would be like, yo, tomorrow at 4 o'clock. I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, nah, I ain't going there, man, because they don't fuck with me. She like, what? What you mean? They don't fuck with me. Every time I've been there, they haven't aired it. I see them air. You know what I'm saying? All right, just come anyway. And I don't know. They got to prove to me because I don't know why. You got quality music. You got an album out there. I see them
Mhm.
putting people on there. All right, cool. I go. Lo and behold, get the interview. I'm excited about it, but I'm not extra excited because I've been here
Mhm.
before.
Mhm.
Interview actually got aired. Great response. Um, she's doing the song came out around November, December, Christmas time. So in Jamaica, there are a lot of road shows. Like every radio station has the road show.
Mhm.
Um, she's on the Mellow FM road show. Going from parish to parish, parish to parish, parish to parish. city to city, city to city, performing every night. She's like, yo, Mello, show up. Bring your flash drive with the songs you want to perform.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're there, we're backstage, everybody. All it's a Christmas bash, bro. So it's all legendary lineup. It's Yellow Man, Beanie Man, Angel, like cream of the crop. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody there knows me, or if they know me, as far as like the people running the show. And if they know me, they're not acknowledging me. She's like, yo, okay, so I'm performing. She has her set lined up with her DJ, you know. Go up, do her thing, probably about 2-3 songs in. She called me up. We perform our song. I'm walking off stage. She's like, yo, hold on, where you going? Yo, on the Love the Bud rapper? Yeah, the Buddest thing is, yo, if y'all don't know about him, y'all need to know, blah, 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 blah. He got an album out. Every song on there is fire. I'm not just saying, yo, you know what? Run his rhythm. Sing the song Murderer. Let them hear Murder. I'm talking about on Mellow FM, bro. Sing Murderer. It's one of my favorite songs. Other except for the song that with us, of course. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Sing Murderer. People loving it. Sing the next song. Boom. Sing the next song. People loving it. Sing one more. Boom. Sing the next one. People loving it. All right, cool. And she's doing this over and over and over and over, bro. It's not a one-time thing. She's on national TV, TVJ. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I could never forget that because I couldn't repay her for that. You know what I'm saying? Like her doing a song for me in this industry where you're only as good as your last hit. Her doing a song with me don't benefit her. Her campaigning for me don't benefit her. It don't make other people want to work with her. It ain't like doing a song with whoever the fuck. You know what I mean? And I keep stuff like that always at the front of my mind, man. And I always like to give people their flowers, when they can still smell them, man. And I never forget that. Ever.
That's big. That's big, especially coming from somebody, as you said, like the angel doesn't really know you, and she got the same basic story that Version got. Because remember, all of these stuff that Rush is saying, it's like, freak man, okay, I'll do it anyhow, and she actually did it. So then, one other person
Yeah.
that I know you connected with, and you even have your music video you just put out a couple days ago, Skillibeng.
Yeah.
How did that
Yeah.
connection
Yeah.
come around? Because I know you guys actually released 2 songs already.
Yeah. We dropped twice songs, twice videos. The first one, Sound Like, and the one that we just released, I think maybe about a week now. One Life, good production. That was also on his mixtape, The Prodigy, which came out in December. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I met him. I reached out to him on Instagram.
Okay.
Because this is the type of person that I am. This is the second time we're doing this interview because the first one, the audio just can't go public because I really be outside around some real stuff taking place. You know what I mean? And because of that, I get a chance to hear music that the underground is listening to. And I was around one of my hitters, man, and he had a song playing, and I was like, yo, who is that? And he was like, yo, man, nigga named Skillibeng from St. Thomas. He called your name in the song too. Like he said BOJ. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, this song right here was crazy. He had a song called Duppy Time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yo, this nigga's fire. He's not toughen up his voice to convince you that he's the killer. He's really just being himself. And for me, like in real life experience, bro, like the real gangsters are the real quiet and reserved. They don't really raise their voice. They're the ones that be like, yeah, I'm gonna kill that nigga right now. And everybody's laughing, and a couple minutes later, you hear explosion going on. You know, and they're still just, at the end of it all, they still just sit there smoking real quiet, like, yeah, man, they ain't believe me. I told them I was gonna do that, but, you know, like, their temperature is always real monotone. They don't get very, you know, and I identified with that immediately from the first song. I went on Audio Mac and I was like, yo, Skillibeng, I typed it in. And I saw like 30 songs. I was like, yo, how the fuck? This is the first time I'm just hearing about this nigga. So now I'm listening, because the thing with me is I be tricked. I've gotten tricked by artists before. Like, I'll hear something that I like, and then when I go search, that's the only example of what I liked. You know? So I went, and before I downloaded, I started listening. So I'm listening. I'm like, yo, it's unorthodox. His flow is completely different. It ain't, you can't compare it to nothing else. So that right there, just, my ears is standing at attention. And then the stuff that he's talking about, I'm like, yo. To me, he's just rapping in patois. That's what
100%.
you know? I'm like, yo, I gotta holler at this nigga. So I message him. Yo, bro, I heard some of your music. I'd love to work with you. Blah, 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 blah. Holler at me. And probably like a day later or the same day, he messaged me like, yo, what you had in mind? You know what I'm saying? And I sent him what I had in mind. And that ended up being Soundlight. You know what I mean? And, you know, even with me, a lot of times when I like an artist's music, I've learned to not to want to meet them, because when I meet them, it kind of turns me off, because they're not what I expected. Now, that's unfair, because even to me, I know now people are listening to my music and they'll come to a conclusion, their conclusion of who they think I am, you know, and that might be wrong. That you could just hear a song with how I'm feeling at that time, or a message that I feel like conveying at that time, and that leads somebody to believe that I'm a particular kind of way when I'm really not. And that has happened to me a lot. I've met a lot of artists that, well, I've listened to a lot of artists that when I met them, they disappointed me. You know what I mean? Like, they wasn't who I thought they was in their music. And when I met them, it's just, it's what I thought. It's the conclusion that I forward to. Listen to the music. That's who I met when I met him. You know, and just a down to earth. He eats, sleep, shit music. Like, he's just thinking about more ways to be more creative and to excite the people more. You know, and he's just solid, down to earth. For a person in his position, I could get a phone call from him and he pulls up on me by himself on a dirt bike, on a motorcycle, in a car, in a new car, or old, just same shit that I do, just regular. You know what I mean? It's not getting caught up in this, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just real down to earth. If I don't like you, I don't like you. If I like you, when I see you, I tell you I like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, dog, your music is dope. That song right there, when you said that, you know, just that real down to earth. And I appreciate that. And I cherish that. And I respect and honor that. You know what I mean? And it's an honor for me to know that he see the same in me. That he sees me, and well, he heard my music, and when he met me, whatever conclusion he came of me, that it was enough that we could have a group that I consider him my brother. That's my brother. You know what I mean?
For sure,
really
because
brother, you know?
I see you in that camp there with Skillibeng, Popcaan, Dre Island. It seems like now Jamaica is at a place where what you're doing isn't so foreign anymore. It's almost like it makes sense what you're doing right now, and especially with the accent, what you're singing and everything. So you're in the right predicament. It's like instead of you remember at first you were trying to go to them, go to them, go to them. Now it's coming to you, and that's really what's going on.
Yeah,
20.
Yeah, and it's an honor. It's an honor to know that, like, even the names you mentioned, you know, like Dre Island, Popcorn, Skillibeng, for me to even be able to say, like, yo, those are my brothers. You know what I mean? Like, outside of music, you know, because I had a car accident. I had a car accident a couple days ago, about a week and a half ago or so, and the first person on the scene was Dre Island. You know what I'm saying? Like he's my neighbor. He lived right up the road from me. You know what I mean? And you know, messages popping up in my phone, Popcorn, yo, you good, bro? What's going on? You all right? You know what I mean? Skilly, same thing, and a few others as well. You know what I mean? And it's for me, you know, it's just great to know that I'm respected and accepted by the greats for what I do, because like I'm literally the rapper. Like I'm their brother that raps. You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing, man. And Rush has a lot to do with that, because you know he was the first one to he was the first one in position to be like, yo, yeah, like I'm rocking with him. You know, go on TV and say it, go on radio and say it, like, yo, yeah, who Jakal? Nah, that's my artist. That's who I'm working with right now. That's the only artist I'm working with right now, as a matter of fact. You know, and stuff like that, for the position that he's in, it made people think like, hold on a second. But let me at least go see what this nigga is saying, if Rush is saying that, you know, and it's the same thing. People see me parring with Dry Island. They see, yo, them niggas is always together. Like and Dry Island is a conscious, a Rasta artist, and he's very talented. Plays the piano. You know what I'm saying? So let me see what he sees in this nigga. Let me take a closer look. You know, they see Popcorn post a picture in my sneakers. You know, they're like, hold on a sec, like. Nah, I gotta listen. They, you know, they hear 2 songs with Skillibeng. You know, they see 2 videos. They hear how he speaks of me in his interviews, and they're like, hold on a second. All right, hold on. You know, maybe we got it wrong. You know, or maybe there's something we're not seeing. So, you know, it's a blessing, bro. It's a big blessing, man.
Definitely, definitely. Before I get you out of here, 2021, right now we're all down Jamaica, there's curfew and all this stuff here. But what do you have planned? What do you have planned for 2021 moving forward to really solidify the brand, Jakal and Urban Legends?
All right, man. Quality music on a consistent level, bro. Quality music on a consistent level. So we just dropped the video for One Life. You know, that's trending right now. We probably had 250,000 views in a few days. That's doing phenomenal. You know, we dropping the next video next Friday. You know, we're dropping a video every other Friday, bro. You know, the next album, I want to say, which is about 90, probably even 95% produced by Y Rush. It's complete. It's finished. It's just we just want to waiting for the right time. You know, we sitting on about 6 videos that, you know, like I said, we're just dropping the right time. You know, I'm not in a position to use a song and kill a song, so to speak. You know, I want the songs to grow. I want everything to reach its maximum potential, so to speak. You know, so we're not rushing anything, man. I love collaborating with people. I feel like collabs bring the best out of me, you know, and whoever I'm collaborating with, because I'm not half stepping. You know, I'm always leading with my best foot forward. You know what I mean? Rush, he's producing for all types of artists in dancehall and reggaeton, obviously, and rap. You know what I mean? He's still dealing with the radio. He's still doing, he got his hands in a bunch of things that, you know, Urban Legend is just, we're branding and expanding. I think 2021 is branding and expanding. You know what I
That's
mean?
really where it's at.
2021 is branding and expanding, bro. Because see, I'm here doing an interview in Canada. Like this is expansion. You know, this is
Crazy.
expansion, bro. You know, so it's growth, man. That's 2021, branding and expanding. You know,
Branding
becoming
expanding. I hear that.
yeah, household name, man. I have, you know, I just released my second pair of sneakers. I got a sneaker deal. You know what I mean? The second pair just came out. I got a glasses situation. 3 different frames are gonna forward out in a few weeks. You know, so we're branding and expanding, bro. Urban Legend now and forevermore, man.
Big, 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 big. If they want to check out anything you have coming up or going on, leave some socials, leave some shout outs, some big ups right now. The floor is yours.
Yeah, definitely. You know, first and foremost, man, shout out to the whole Urban Legend movement. My manager, business partner, my brother, my mentor, Wire Rush. You know what I mean? Definitely you can find out, tap in with what's taking place with me on Instagram. I am the Jakal, IAMTHEJAKAL. You know, Spotify, Audio Mac, iTunes, all your musical platforms, man. Jakal, Jakal, Jamaican Assassin, killing all lanes, man. We out here, you know, just putting the work in. Shout out to my brother Skillibeng. Make sure y'all check out that One Life video right now. Run it up. Run it up. We want 1,000,000 views, man. Let's do it. You know what I mean? 1,000,000 views. Don't you all ever forget, rap was started by Jamaican. Cool Herc, shout out to him. Born in Jamaica, raised in Jamaica, migrated to the United States in the Bronx, Cedric Avenue, where he pioneered what we now know as hip hop and rap. So this is a Jamaican. Don't ever y'all forget that or confuse it. You know, I want every Jamaican across the planet to own that because it's ours. And right now, y'all have a representative that y'all could say is ours because I'm representing Jamaica. I'm broadcasting live from Kingston, Jamaica, man. You know, so every Jamaican that's in Canada, that's in England, that's in America, whose parents is born in Jamaica and went to another country for a better life, and then their kids was born in that other country for a better life. You know, realistically, when it came to music, we either had to subscribe to Jamaica or subscribe to whatever's taking place in wherever we at. Now you got me, the hybrid. You know, I'm broadcasting live out of Jamaica, and I'm competing at the highest level with this rap music. You know, and we just out here giving Jamaicans something else to be proud of. You know, something else to stand up and campaign. You know, just like when Usain Bolt dominated the Olympics, you know what I mean? Like, you know, when all those Jamaicans dominated the bobsled, you know, people shouldn't be surprised that a Jamaican is now rapping and competing, or people shouldn't be surprised now that Jamaicans are now rapping and broadcasting live from Jamaica, you know, and giving the world quality music. You know what I mean? And just showing another side of Jamaica from a rap's perspective. You know, and that's what I'm here doing, man. That's what Urban Legend is all about. You know what I mean? So shout out to all my brothers in this musical fraternity that worked with me and collaborated with me to get us to this point. You know what I mean? You know, people who are doing things even behind the scenes. Shout out to Popcaan. Simply, he wearing his sneakers. You could go on his live and hear him talking about Jakal, the bad rapper. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of things that are have culminated to get it to where it's at right now. You know what I mean? And branding and expansion 2021. Urban Legend now and forevermore, man. Quality music. I am the Jakal everywhere. Anybody that's trying to get in contact to do anything, just holler at Rush, and we gonna make it happen the right way, bro.
Jakal, thank you so very much for this conversation. Listen, your openness, what you speak
Salute, my
about, what you've
brother.
been through, and what you've seen, it's an amazing journey, and it's only up from here. You understand?
Salute, bro. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it.
Thank
And,
you.
I appreciate for sharing the platform and inviting me, man. And I hope your audience and your listeners enjoy it.
For sure, for sure. Thank you so very much. Let me give you an outro and get you out of here because this conversation, epic conversation. All right.
Salute, bro.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Muscle, and this has been another Two Line Music Huts Entertainment Report podcast, and we are out. This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinedmusichut.com.